So, Michael, let me go back to the study, right? Scientists concluded that without human-induced climate change, the extreme heat in China would have been about 1 in every 250 years. The heat waves in July here in the U.S., in Mexico, in Southern Europe would have been virtually impossible. Is this the summer that the warning, is this summer the warning we knew was coming, but maybe we needed to spark change?
Well, let me say this. If you lose me, it's going to be because of those thunderstorms that are currently rolling through Philadelphia right now. Yes, this study, in a sense, tells us what we sort of already knew, that we would not be seeing these unprecedented extreme weather events in the absence of human-caused warming from the burning of fossil fuels and carbon pollution that results from that. But it is useful that it quantifies that, and it puts some rigor to these linkages that we're now seeing between human-caused climate change and these catastrophic weather events that are playing out in real time. And if anything, here's the irony. This report is probably overly conservative because the models that they are using to do that attribution, to show that human activity is increasing the likelihood of these events. The models that they're using don't actually resolve all of the processes that we think are responsible for these extreme events that we're seeing. In particular, the behavior of the jet stream and the way these heat domes just get stuck in a given region and stay there day after day. That has to do with some complex behavior in the jet stream that isn't perfectly captured by the model. So if anything, this stark report is understating the impact that human activity is having on these extreme events.
When I was reading it, even as somebody who tries to keep up on this very closely, it was very stark and beyond the cause and effect. The study also has a pretty dire warning that not only are we humans fueling more intense extreme weather all around the planet, but the frequency and severity of such calamities is likely to worsen with time. It says this: unless the world rapidly stops burning fossil fuels, these events will become even more common, and the world will experience heat waves that are even hotter and longer lasting. A heat wave like the recent ones would occur every 2 to 5 years in a world that is 2 degrees centigrade warmer than the pre-industrial climate. So what are we not doing that we should be doing? Is it even possible to reverse the trend at this point, or can we just freeze it?
Yeah, and let me say that unless is doing quite a bit of work in that statement, because that's the critical point. And the report does make very clear that we're not seeing runaway warming. We see no evidence of that. These events don't signify that. They simply indicate that as we continue to warm the planet, we're going to see more of these extreme events. And it quantifies that. And that continuing to warm the planet is really critical because developments in the science over the last decade actually give us a little bit of reason for cautious optimism here. We now understand that if we slam on the brakes on fossil fuel burning, if we bring those carbon emissions to zero, and we can do it, we have the technology to do it, the only obstacles are political at this point, then the surface of the planet stops warming almost immediately. And all of these extreme events that we're seeing, they are driven by the surface warming of the planet. So if we can stop that by bringing carbon emissions to zero, we prevent this from getting worse. Now, we still have to contend with elevated risk. It would take decades at least for us to literally bring the planetary temperature back down. So what we're talking about is limiting the warming, and preventing further exacerbation of these crises, and putting in measures, putting in place the measures that will be necessary to adapt to those changes that are now baked in. We're dealing now with a world of elevated risk. We have to accept that, but we have to prevent it from getting worse, and we can do that if we act.
Professor Michael Mann, thank you so much. I know you've got a new book coming out, and we will look for that as well. Hope to have you back on again soon.